Nous sommes soldats,
combattants
pour crier
sur le nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Nous sommes vaillants,
c'est
de la
parole au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Nous sommes vaillants, cités à dessein
au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Nous sommes vaillants, cités à dessein
au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Quels qu'ils soient les effets,
Nous conquérons au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
quels qu'ils soient les menaces,
Nous conquérons au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
quels qu'ils soient les mensonges,
Nous conquérons au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
quels qu'ils soient l'adversité,
Jésus, nous conquérons.
nous sommes vaillants, cités à dessein
Au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Nous sommes vaillants, cités à dessein
Au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Nous sommes vaillants, c'est de la parole
Au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
Nous sommes vaillants, cités à dessein quels qu'ils soient les mensonges, quels qu'ils soient les menaces, quels qu'ils soient l'adversité, quelles qu'ils soient les persécutions, nous sommes vaillants, suscités à dessein,
au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
nous sommes vaillants, c'est de la parole
Au nom de Jésus, nous conquérons.
nous sommes vaillants, suscités à dessein,
au nom de Jésus.
Prenez garde à vous-même, de crainte que vos cœurs ne s'appesantissent par les excès du manger et du boire et par les soucis de la vie, et que ce jour ne vienne sur vous à l'improviste. car il viendra comme un filet sur tous ceux qui habitent sur la face de toute la terre. Veillez donc et priez en tout temps, afin que vous ayez la force d'échapper à toutes ces choses qui arriveront et de paraître debout devant le Fils de l'homme.
Et je vis sortir de la bouche du dragon, et de la bouche de la bête, et de la bouche du faux prophète, 3 esprits impurs, semblables à des grenouilles. Car ce sont des esprits de démons qui font des prodiges, et qui vont vers les rois de toute la terre, afin de les rassembler pour le combat du grand jour du Dieu Tout-Puissant. Ils les rassemblèrent dans le lieu appelé en hébreu Armageddon. Puis, je vis monter de la terre une autre bête, qui avait 2 cornes semblables à celles d'un agneau, et qui parlait comme un dragon. Elle exerçait toute l'autorité de la première bête en sa présence, et elle faisait que la terre et ses habitants adoraient la première bête, dont la blessure mortelle avait été guérie. Elle opérait de grands prodiges, même jusqu'à faire descendre du feu du ciel sur la terre, à la vue des hommes. Et elle séduisait les habitants de la terre par les prodiges qui lui étaient donnés d'opérer en présence de la bête, disant aux habitants de la terre de faire une image à la bête qui avait la blessure de l'épée et qui vivait. Et il lui fut donné d'animer l'image de la bête, afin que l'image de la bête parlât, et qu'elle fit que tous ceux qui n'adoreraient pas l'image de la bête fussent tués. Et elle fit que tous, petits et grands, riches et pauvres, libres et esclaves, reçussent une marque sur leur main droite ou sur leur front, et que personne ne put acheter ni vendre sans avoir la marque, le nom de la bête ou le nombre de son nom. C'est ici la sagesse. Que celui qui a de l'intelligence calcule le nombre de la bête, car c'est un nombre d'hommes, et son nombre, c'est 666.
Many have identified them as the kingmakers, the puppet masters that pull the strings behind the scenes. Perhaps there is no better example of this than what occurred during the 2008 conference. Immediately after Obama had been selected as the Democratic presidential nominee, the pressure was on to choose a running mate.
We've put together a committee. We are going to be equally deliberative in how we move forward. And we're not going to do it in the press, and we're not going to do it through surrogates.
He then tricked the press corps into staying on the plane as it took off from Washington. He was whisked away to an undisclosed location.
Obama was supposed to fly home. He'd been here in Virginia. He was supposed to fly home out of Dulles, as you know, outside Washington, D.C. The press corps was waiting for him on the plane, and the pilot announced that they were leaving, and Barack Obama was not on the plane.
Presumptive nominees in the past has always been that they have at least a press pool with them at all times. Is there a reason why we didn't go with him in the motorcade all the way? This is what we're out here for, and now we're on this plane with no candidate.
Again, I understand. There was a desire to do these meetings, obviously, in private.
The press then began to report that Obama and Hillary were meeting secretly in her home.
Well, we continue to follow our breaking news. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton meeting tonight at her house in Washington, D.C.
However, it was later revealed that they never actually met at Clinton's home.
And we're following this breaking story. Candy Crowley, we understand, has new information. Candy, what have you learned?
We are hearing actually from Chris Welch, who is our embed with the Obama campaign. Those are the people that took off without Obama and went to Chicago. The spokesman there is in fact confirming that the meeting did take place. They're talking in past tense now, but saying that the meeting did not take place at the Clintons' house. It took place at this point at some place, I don't know where, some undisclosed place in Washington, D.C., not at Hillary Clinton's house.
Remember, Gibbs mentioned that Obama had a desire to have several meetings, not just one.
Is there more than one meeting? Is there more than one person with whom you...
I'm not going to get into all the details of the meetings. I don't know that I've got a ton more different answers for all of your questions.
The truth of the matter is that Bilderberg just happened to be in the neighborhood at the time. They were holding their annual meeting just down the road in Chantilly, Virginia. What are the chances?
What's interesting and dangerous about the New World Order is that it's not a natural progressing idea. It's just not civilization naturally evolving and organizing into this system. It's the group of extremely powerful people that are manipulating the system to get it to this status from behind the scenes without anybody's knowledge. You have to ask yourself, if there isn't an agenda going on to keep those organizations quiet and to keep them out of the news, to keep the discussions about them behind closed doors, then why is it that these supposed experts on the left and on the right never talk about them?
This has been a condensed history of the globalist organizations and their rise to power. But is there a reason they meet behind closed doors? A shadow world government has been mentioned. But to truly understand what that means, let's go back to this iconic warning from President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Progress toward these noble goals is persistently threatened by the conflict now engulfing the world. It commands our whole attention, absorbs our very beings. We face a hostile ideology, global in scope, atheistic in character, ruthless in purpose, and insidious in method. Unhappily, the danger it poses promises to be of indefinite duration. The need to maintain balance in and among national programs. Balance between the private and the public economy. Balance between the cost and hoped for advantages. Balance between the clearly necessary and the comfortably desirable. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. Yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
America went into a major mobilization, revived its defense industries, and we saw the civilian economy of America more and more skewed through the 50s. Already in Eisenhower's time, he could see it coming, that you were getting a larger and larger defense military component of the economy, which, unlike the rest of the economy, was very, very centrally organized about lobbying for more and more new weapons. It was the political skills of this military-industrial complex, which I think Eisenhower was really warning us about, and rightly. There is a military-industrial complex. Today we see a situation where the civilian economy is really in tatters, and most of our civilian production has gone overseas to third world countries. What do we export? Our biggest export practically is garbage, but apart from garbage, we export military equipment. We have a special act which subsidizes, makes it possible for countries abroad to buy our armaments because it's too expensive to produce them for one country only. So we have become a very efficient military-industrial complex, but the civilian economy is only a ghost of what it used to be, and this has terrible consequences for democracy because it means that the power of this lobby is now sort of dominating what goes on in Washington.
Through multinational corporations, global intelligence networks, out-of-control banksters, all under the veil of national security and black operations, the global elite have consolidated power on a massive scale over the last several decades. You see, global corporations not only fund and develop large technological and military projects here and abroad, they also own the consumer industry and production. as well as all of the important media. By owning the vast majority of what we hear and see on a daily basis, we have been manipulated on a mass scale as to regards to what we believe and desire, both socially and politically. Edward Bernays, the nephew of world-famous psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, would study group dynamics and become the father of public relations. He authored the book Propaganda in 1928. In it, he described how to intelligently and consciously manipulate the habits and opinions of the masses within a democratic society. He went on to state that those who harness this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government and are the true ruling power. It is they who pull the wires which control the public mind, who harness old social forces and contrive new ways to bind and guide the world.
The average American is distracted, mindless, worried about minuscule things, celebrities, as if it was their own family members. And this is by design, because the powers that be, who own the media, know how our brains work. They know scientifically how the human mind functions. They know about sociology, and they are using the media, and have used the media for decades now, to entertain people with issues that don't really matter. When you have the big news networks covering celebrity issues as if it's the most important thing, it becomes the most important thing. And this is not by accident. This is to keep us out of the way. Because if you're worried about the latest celebrity death, or the latest celebrity couple, or the celebrity breakup, or your sports team having a shot at the Super Bowl or the World Series, there's so much information about those issues that can be discussed that will mesmerize people, and they won't know or care about the real issues that are out there.
Well, I think this is just one more piece of evidence of the degree to which the media, supposedly the watchdogs, has become the gatekeeper of the system.
Mainstream media are, first of all, nearly all of them corporations, nearly all of them now publicly held, part of the whole Wall Street financial system that they're supposed to report about objectively, but they can't. They, right now, in October of 2009, they are celebrating the recovery of the biggest banks in New York and saying that the recession is over. Of course, there are a few problems, like foreclosures are going on, unemployment is rising. All of this is affecting the American people, but it's not affecting the financial elite who also control the media.
Bernays successfully identified the invisible empire which controlled the minds of men. So as the populace is mesmerized and hypnotized by powerful behind-the-scenes forces, as they are distracted by the latest celebrity scandal, the newest cell phone, and their favorite sports team, this network disguises itself, remaining in the shadows. The head of the European Union is also calling for global government.
2009 is also the first year of global governance, with the establishment of the G20 in the middle of the financial crisis.
Gordon Brown has called for a world constitution.
We now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Both Gordon Brown and Barack Obama had been groomed to be the next Anglo-American spokesman for this new world order after Bush and Blair stepped down. Here is Gordon Brown in front of the CBI, prior to him being chosen to become Prime Minister.
And it's only now that we can begin to understand that the world order that globalization brings and what it's going to look like. But what does the new world order mean for countries like ours who are looking to succeed? And the question for us is how we meet and master all these challenges to ensure that Britain enhances its competitiveness in the process and realizes what I believe is our destiny of success in this new world order. A new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges for the future.
President Barack Obama has also espoused similar views on globalism. Here he is in Berlin, Germany, in July of 2008, in what media have dubbed his New World Order speech.
Well, there have been extraordinary scenes in Berlin tonight as thousands of people gathered to hear Barack Obama deliver key foreign policy speech on his current European tour. The Democratic presidential hopeful laid out his vision for America's place in a new world order.
In this new world, such dangerous currents have swept along faster than our efforts to contain them. And that is why we cannot afford to be divided. No one nation, no matter how large or powerful, can defeat such challenges alone. But the burdens of global citizenship continue to bind us together. In this new century, Americans and Europeans alike will be required to do more, not less. Partnership and cooperation among nations is not a choice. It is the only way, the one way, to protect our common security and advance our common humanity. That is why America cannot turn inward. That is why Europe cannot turn inward. America has no better partner than Europe. Now is the time to build new bridges across the globe as strong as the one that binds us across the Atlantic. Now is the time to join together through constant cooperation and strong institutions and shared sacrifice and a global commitment to progress to meet the challenges of the 21st century.
Barack Obama also became the first sitting president to ever become the chair of the Security Council for the United Nations, which only further cites his allegiance to world government.
In an era when our destiny is shared, power is no longer a zero-sum game. No one nation can or should try to dominate another nation. No world order that elevates one nation or group of people over another will succeed. No balance of power among nations will hold. The traditional divisions between nations of the South and the North make no sense in an interconnected world.
I think its task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity.
The globalists, who know that Obama is going to promote their plan, want to make him such a superhero that nobody will question what he's doing.
Le Saint-Esprit ne sera plus sur la terre. En ce temps-là, il ne sera plus sur la terre. J'ai commencé à avoir un trafic énorme. J'ai commencé à avoir des accidents. Toutes les personnes qui étaient appelées avant, il me dit, ils chercheront la mort, mais la mort ne sera plus. La mort ne sera plus dans ce temps-là. Et précisément, j'ai commencé à voir que là, il y avait des personnes amères. J'ai commencé à voir comment circulaient des revues qui disaient « Des millions de personnes ont disparu ». Beaucoup de ceux qui savaient que Christ venait pour un peuple saint et aussi ceux qui avaient connaissance de sa parole pleuraient dans les rues. Il y en avait tant, mais ils ne pouvaient rien faire. Et le Seigneur ferma l'écran et il me dit « Je viens là chercher un peuple saint. Je viens bientôt chercher mon Église. Veille sur ce que tu fais pour accomplir ce que je t'ai demandé. Dis à mon peuple que je reviens d'ici peu. Dis à mon peuple que je reviens déjà. » Le Seigneur me dit, dis à mon peuple que je reviens déjà et que je viens pour un peuple saint. Dis à mon peuple que c'est seulement les saints, c'est seulement les saints qui me verront. Le temps est proche. Le Seigneur a permis de signaler et révéler à l'humanité ce qui arrivera. Aujourd'hui, c'est le temps du salut. Que tu invites ta vie à ton unique sauveur, Jésus. Prends ce temps de choisir ta destinée. La vie ou la mort. Le ciel ou l'enfer. Jésus ou le diable. C'est très clair. D'appartenir à Dieu ou d'appartenir au diable. De faire le bien ou de faire le mal. Ton choix sera ta destinée. Vie éternelle ou étang de feu. Réfléchis. Fais le choix. Décide maintenant. Jésus-Christ est mort sur la croix pour chacun d'entre nous, pour nos péchés, et nous a donné l'opportunité d'être sauvés par sa miséricorde. Accepte Jésus comme ton unique sauveur. Tous l'ont écouté et l'ont vu. Que ce moment, vous le viviez comme un appel. Ne vous condamnez pas pour l'enfer éternel.